Disney just showed us the first footage from Frozen 3 and I think they may have given more clues than we realized. Because yes, finally Anna and Christopher getting married, and yes, Olaf apparently has a girlfriend named Samantha. Like, who even thought? But then a mysterious woman comes through what appears to be a magical portal connected to the Northern Lights. The thing is, she knows exactly who Anna and Elsa are because she literally says, "Finally we meet." She has powers that apparently rival Elsa's. And suddenly I'm wondering, who the hell is this woman? And I worked my conspiracy brain. I have like 10 theories and some of them are absolutely insane. But before we get into them, I am Meg and this is Meg's Universe, the cinematic universe you never knew you needed. So let's subscribe and you know what else. Let's start with the obvious. The new character designs look so good, like their outfits, hair, makeup, everything. Because it is literally Anna and Christoph's wedding. That was supposed to be a happy event in the sister's life. But that is the exact night something bad is about to happen. After 2 movies of waiting for Anna and Christoph to get into their relationship stronger, now they're finally getting married, but there seems to be some conflict between them. It could be a wedding stress. They're definitely fighting about something, or I don't know if Disney is setting up something bigger. Because why would they show us a footage where there's a conflict between the two of them on their wedding night? But just everything gets disrupted. This mysterious woman is obviously the new antagonist. That itself is exciting because think about the previous Frozen movies. The first Frozen movie doesn't have a big villain. Elsa initially looks like a threat, but then she becomes this emotional center of the film. Then Hans becomes the real villain, and then Frozen 2 doesn't really give us a proper villain. It was a story about their past, their family trauma, all those things, and obviously the truth about discovering Elsa's powers. So Frozen 3 could be the first time we are getting a powerful supernatural antagonist because she created a portal, and what we see on the other side is the same frozen land, but then it's a bit more darker, it's supernatural, mysterious, as well as dangerous. We know from Frozen 2 that Elsa is the 5th spirit, the bridge between the human world and the elemental spirits. But what if there was another 5th spirit before Elsa? And something happened, like she failed, she abandoned the role, or she got corrupted, or maybe Atolland eventually chooses Elsa to replace her. And honestly, it would explain something really important, that why this woman actually knows Anna and Elsa. If she has been connected to this magical world way before Elsa, she's definitely not a random stranger. She definitely could have some history with the 5th spirit itself, or she could be the 5th spirit from before. That brings us to the next theory. What if she's not connected to Elsa, but to the sources of Elsa's powers, Atolland? Because Frozen 2 establishes Atolland as this magical river that has memories of the past, and Elsa literally travels into it to discover the truth about her family. So what if there is more to Atolland than we were told? And what if something or someone has been living beyond what Elsa could see? The mysterious portal connected to the Northern Lights could be taking us somewhere that the previous Frozen movies have not explored. And if that's the case, Frozen 3 could be expanding the mythology of the entire Frozen universe. There is also a theory that this mysterious woman could be another version of Anna. I know this one sounds completely ridiculous, but listen to me. Until you remember what Frozen is actually obsessed with. Sisters, choices, love, consequences of those choices. So what if this woman is not Elsa at all? What if she's another version of Anna? Imagine an alternate timeline where Anna's frozen heart never thawed. What happens to someone with a frozen heart? They become cruel. A darker Anna would actually be an interesting character because she wouldn't need Elsa's exact powers. She could represent the Anna who never got her happy ending. And if this character has some kind of connection to frozen heart imagery, this theory becomes even more interesting. Remember the very first song in Frozen? The Frozen Heart. The movie literally opens with a warning, beware the frozen heart. And throughout the first movie, the idea of the frozen heart becomes one of its central pieces of the mythology. Anna's heart is frozen, Elsa's power causes it, and ultimately love is what saves Anna. What if Frozen 3 brings that idea back? What if this antagonist represents someone whose heart genuinely stayed frozen? Not physically, not emotionally, someone who was abandoned, someone who couldn't forgive, someone who never experienced the love that saved Anna. And that could literally make her a fascinating contrast to Anna, because Anna's story is essentially a frozen heart can thaw. And what if this women's story is what happens if it doesn't? Okay, now we are getting into my favorite theory, because look at this mysterious woman and the original Frozen concept art. If you didn't know, Elsa was not going to be this Elsa we see today. During development, she was originally conceived as the Snow Queen and the villain. The story eventually changed dramatically when the filmmakers realized that Anna and Elsa's sister angle created a much stronger emotional story, and that change gave us the Frozen Frozen we know today. But some of those original concepts still exist. And some of the early Elsa's designs are dark. Short dark hair, dramatic cape, sharp features, a much more intimidating Snow Queen aesthetic. And now look at this new character. I'm not saying Disney literally took the old villain Elsa and placed her into Frozen 3, but visually the resemblance is really interesting. So what if this is the original Evil Elsa concept reborn in a completely different way, like an evil twin? Or what if she's not another Elsa? She is a part of Elsa, the negative part. Think about Elsa's entire character arc. She spends her childhood being told to hide her powers, hide her emotions, don't feel anything, don't let anyone see who you really are, and eventually she learns to accept herself. But what if there are parts of her she still hasn't accepted yet? Her anger, her resentment, her fear, her loneliness, the part of her that hated being controlled, the part of her that spent years feeling like she didn't belong. And what if that part of Elsa has literally manifested into another person, into a physical form, like a physical representation of her shadow? And suddenly the similarities to this old concept art becomes so interesting. So maybe this is not Elsa versus Evil Elsa. It is Elsa versus the parts of her she rejected. And honestly, that would be such a Frozen story. There is another possibility that this lady might be related to Anna and Elsa. Maybe an aunt who's connected to her mother's side. Because the magic comes from her mother's side, this could be an aunt. Maybe from an older generation of magical people. Because the biggest question is, she already knows them and they seem like they know her too. Or they have seen her somewhere. Her attitude doesn't feel like she's meeting some random strangers. It feels like she has been waiting for a long time. It could also allow Frozen 3 to expand the family history that Frozen 2 started exploring. But there's another detail that makes me wonder why she has been waiting for such a long time to meet these sisters. Look at how she arrives. The Northern Lights, from another world, a magical opening from a completely different Frozen environment, and a woman who appears to be waiting for this encounter. What if she has been trapped in this Frozen world for a long time? Imagine this mysterious realm that exists outside of this normal world, and something has been keeping her there. Maybe Atolland, maybe Elsa's powers, or maybe something Elsa did unknowingly. And then during Anna and Kristoff's wedding, this portal finally opens, which would explain why the villain appears exactly at this moment. It wasn't random. She was waiting for this exact right moment to come through. And that brings us to the theory that could completely change how we look at the next two Frozen movies. What if we're not supposed to get the whole story in Frozen 3 because Frozen 4 is already in development? And the reports from the D23 event suggest that Frozen 3 and Frozen 4 are being developed together. So I don't think Elsa is going to defeat this mysterious woman by the end of Frozen 3. She will be carried to Frozen 4 as well. Frozen 3 is basically the beginning of this woman. Maybe we discover who she is, or what she wants, how is she connected to Elsa and Anna, and then the real conflict continues to Frozen 4, which would make this character much more important because she's not just a villain in one movie, she might be the biggest villain in the whole Frozen universe. But here's my question, why did she appear on Anna and Kristoff's wedding? Because think about how strange this is. She could have come at any moment. Why on their wedding? Disney could have introduced this new villain at any point. Everyone is celebrating, Anna and Kristoff are finally getting their happily ever after, and then this supernatural event interrupts everything. And let's talk about Samantha. Yeah, we know that Olaf is finally getting his Samantha. Like, that was supposed to be a joke, but it was not. I think this Samantha is also from this darker magical world. She might be the Olaf in that world, which was created by this mysterious woman. So can Samantha be bad and mysterious as well? We have to see. This wedding represents everything the sisters have built. Family, love, Arundel, peace, and this woman arrives to challenge all of it. Which makes me wonder, this story might not be just about defeating this new villain. Maybe it's about confronting something that has been waiting underneath the entire Frozen mythology. And that is why I think Frozen 3 could slap. Who do you think this woman could be? Drop your craziest theories in the comment section and let's discuss. Because I have a feeling that we're going to be talking about this for a very long time. Frozen 3 is currently scheduled to hit cinemas on November 24th, 2027. I cannot wait until then. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and comment what do you think about this video and who do you think this woman could be. See you in the next video.